Hey everyone, Mitch coming from the Commander Score Studio. Welcome to the show. So, March the Machine spoiler season is done, and with it we have a brand new permanent type, a brand new card type. We've never seen this kind of card type before, and it's the first time we've gotten a brand new card type in a long time. Now I'm talking about, like, the actual full type, not like, subtypes like sagas, sure. But yeah, in this brand new set, we've got battles, and with battles come some different kinds of interactions, and one thing that yeah, I kind of thought would be clever when I first thought of it, but I'm gonna urge you, do not do this, do not try this, because it does not work with battles. Now, what exactly am I talking about? Well, let's jump into it and let's talk about what a battle is, and yeah, just kind of what you might kind of think could be possible with it, and it's not. Invasion of Ikoria. So this is gonna be a pretty popular one in Commander, I am sure. It's already decently expensive, I think around $6 or so. Regardless, a battle siege that costs X green. Again, battles as it enters the battlefield, choose an opponent to protect it. You and others can attack it. When it's defeated, exile it, then cast it transformed. Again, so you are giving it to an opponent. Now you technically still control it, even though that person is protecting it. And yeah, this one has 6 defense counters on it, so you and other players can attack it, and you can also, lightning bolt it or whatnot to try to take it out. And then essentially when you do so, it exiles, and you can cast the backside of it. It is flipped. Now, this one also has, when it enters the battlefield, search library and or graveyard for a non-human creature card with mana value X less on the battlefield. If you search library this way, shuffle. So, yeah, very powerful effect, a great tutor effect. Now, what you might be thinking, if you're someone who's a bit of a degenerate when it comes to things like this, like me, you're like, hey, okay, so battles. Battles are kind of, I mean, I picture them more like, like an enchantment or artifact, essentially. It's in play, and like it's being protected by someone. That's kind of how I just, I mean, it's a different permanent type entirely, but you know what I mean. Kind of like a planeswalker more so, I guess. And so, hey, I'm giving this to you, and yeah, I could attack it. Or, you know what I could do? I could actually turn it into a creature in one way or another, and then I could just block with it. Or I could, swing with it and swing at someone, and maybe I could actually have it swing at itself. And that would be kind of weird for a couple of reasons. I mean, first up, this is our very first, outside of like split cards, but it's our very first permanent that is actually kind of horizontally, like a landscape essentially. It's horizontally oriented. So if you're attacking with it, again, when you're attacking with, regular creatures, they're vertical. You swing by tapping them. With this, it'd be like, okay, I tap it, now it's like upside down. I don't know. So that could be one of the reasons, but the main reason is, well, there's a couple, so let's get into it really quick. So, Matt Tavik, and my apologies if I'm mispronouncing your name there, Matt, a rules lawyer, not a rules lawyer, but let me read real quick. Matt Tavik is a senior Magic editor, the former Magic rules manager, that was what I was looking for, and a member of Magic R&D. So Matt Tavik, an expert on the subject, said, there are a lot of rules to cover unusual battle situations, but here's one that may be more common. Battles that become creatures and are still battles can't attack or block. If a battle somehow becomes an attacking or blocking creature, it drops out of combat. Hashtag WotC staff. So, yeah. Battles apparently can't attack, which is kind of unfortunate, because it'd be kind of funny. It kind of makes sense because, well, yeah, you could just have a battle attacking itself, which would be kind of weird. You'd be like, yeah, my Invasion of Zendikar is now, a creature. And it swings at itself because, again, you're attacking a battle that someone else is, protecting. So it just swings at itself. It's a very strange interaction, and one that Wizards clearly thought about ahead of time. Was like, you know what? There are some weird situations in Magic, like, I can't remember the exact card name, but you can basically turn your Nicol Bolas into equipment, which you can attach to your Nicol Bolas, so you're hitting your opponents with a Nicol Bolas by a Nicol Bolas. So, yeah, there's some weird things that can happen in Magic, and battles is a brand new kind of layer to things, and so essentially saying, yeah, you can't swing a battle at itself or at other battles or just at all, because some weird things could happen. Yeah, I mean, I guess, again, when I was thinking about before I saw this, it was basically like, yeah, cool, if you turn to a creature, you can block with it. So your opponents are going to be very, very, very worried about ever attacking you, because you'd be like, yeah, I turn my battles in, if you have these kinds of effects in your deck, I should say. Yeah, I turn my battles into creatures, I block with them, and then you just gave me a ton of value because you just took damage off of them, and I can flip them in exile and transform. Yeah, so they thought about this. Now, let me give an example really quick, and I probably should have brought this up first, about how you would actually do this. The first that came to my mind is Liquid Metal Torque, a great card. Artifact for 2, taps for a colorless. A great mana rock, very effective, very efficient. Tap, target non-land permanent becomes an artifact or other types until end of turn. So you can turn your battle, which is just a battle, now into an artifact battle. Cool. That doesn't make into a creature, though. What does make into a creature are a couple of different effects. The first one I'll bring up, actually just, ironically with the name, March of the Machines. Look at that. The set is called March of the Machine. March of the Machines can turn your battles into artifact creatures, or creatures from artifacts. You know what I mean? Enchantment for 3 and a blue. Each non-creature artifact is an artifact creature with power and toughness, each equal to its converted mana cost. So again, for Invasion of Ikoria, you'd have, again, a 2/2 battle that is, has 6 counters on it or whatever it was again. A 2/2 battle, and you're like, hey, yeah, cool, look on the toolkit, I've got March Machines out, and now it's a 2/2 creature, and I swing it at itself. Again, the tapping thing would be weird, and then also, yeah, being able to attack itself would be kind of weird, too. So yeah, that is just a little ripple in the rules where it's like, oh, yeah, I kind of wanted to be pretty clever with that myself, but yeah, I can understand how that cannot be allowed, because there'd be some really weird things happening with it, again. I guess, yeah, you can never really have any other situation where you're like having like a planeswalker attack itself. You could turn a planeswalker into a creature, but your opponents like aren't defending it. So yeah, there's some weird little ripples of this, and I'm sure it would just get even more complex when other kinds of battles come out. Again, this is like a battle-siege, so I'm sure there are other types of battles in the future that are going to have subtypes, and do other weird things. So kind of preventing these interactions in the first place is probably the right call. There's also a follow-up tweet. Matt said, obviously, I hope, if a battle becomes a creature and is no longer a battle, the rules for battles no longer apply to it, and it can participate in the combat as it must yearn to do. So essentially, there are ways to essentially make something into no longer the permanent type that it is and turn it into completely something else. So again, if you are able to, instead of it being a battle, turn it into something completely different, like just a creature, then sure, it can attack because it's no longer a battle. So its battle rules do not apply. So yeah, those counters on it just are kind of like nonsense. They're like, there's offense counters on it, but like getting hit or, it getting hit or hitting something would not remove them, I believe. Or even if it was like lightning bolt, those wouldn't be removed, I would assume. If it's no longer a battle, the battle rules no longer apply, so it can no longer like exile and flip back. Now, how exactly would you do this? Well, actually pretty easily. So a battle I'm going to bring up with this one be Invasion of Theros, which is a battle siege with 4 defense counters that cost 2 and a white. And it says when it enters the battlefield, search your library for an aura, god, or demigod card, reveal it in your hand, then shuffle. So basically a fantastic tutor. I absolutely love this card. Has a lot of potential for, well, Enchantress style strategies, god tribal as well. And yeah, with this, you could very easily get a card to maybe turn something into not a battle anymore, and that card might be Swift Reconfiguration, which is a fantastic card. Oh my goodness, this is a great combo piece for a couple things out there. Regardless, with this situation, hey, it is a flash aura that costs a single white mana. Enchant creature or vehicle. Enchanted permanent is a vehicle artifact with crew 5 and it loses other card types. So, I mean, I guess if you turned this into, again, if you went back through the same scenario where you turn, into an artifact, and then you turn it into a creature with March of Machines, and then you do this, where you're turning it into, well, a vehicle artifact with crew 5, and it loses all their crew types, or all other card types, it is no longer then a battle. It is just an artifact vehicle. And then when it's crewed, then it becomes an artifact vehicle creature, or artifact creature vehicle. You know what I mean? So it would lose the battlefield type, and then therefore, yeah, you could swing with it because, hey, it's not a battle. You can't actually, remove those defense counters on it. It can't swing at itself because it's no longer even being protected by another player, I would assume. And yeah, again, some pretty weird things. Again, it'd be a so weird kind of like tapping scenario where it's like, okay, how do I orient this? Like, do I put it like vertical? I don't know how you, then when you're attacking, you put it horizontal, or do you like start off horizontal attacking and like put it, upside down? I don't know. But yeah, see, regardless, there are ways, again, some very strange interactions that can happen in Magic. Again, Nicol Bolas, equipping Nicol Bolas, smacking people with Nicol Bolas. And so with this, I'm glad Wizards kind of, came out and was like, hey, let's make sure we're on top of this ahead of time, because Magic players, like Mitch over there, like do some really weird things, and having battles attack themselves is probably not really gonna work out. I mean, it's kind of funny, it's hilarious, it just doesn't really make a lot of sense, and also there's some weird interactions that would happen with it. And yeah, the tapping thing, which again, you can do, with this kind of a setup where you have it lose the battle, type essentially, so it can actually attack and block if you actually make it into a creature. It's gonna just look weird, but I mean, obviously you can still do that. So very interesting. Again, thank you, Matt, for covering this. And yeah, make sure that you are not making that mistake and building an entire deck around battles, which, yeah, there's a lot of exciting things you do with battles. Again, I did have like a battle plan deck. I think I'll try to link this. But yeah, battle plan, you know, kind of, I didn't do a full episode on, you know, a deck actually, but, you know, around a card that works great with them. And yeah, you can have a full, you know, deck like this, and you're like, okay, cool. And then my final play is, you know, I've got cards that can turn all my permanents into artifacts, and then, you know, I'm going to play March of Machines, and all my battles are creatures, and they can swing out, but they can't. So yeah, don't fall into that trap. Don't make that mistake. Even though, yeah, my gears were churning when I first saw battles. I was like, what kind of weird things can you do with this? So yeah, make sure you don't do that. And yeah, comment below your thoughts on this. What do you think about this rules interaction? How do you think it should work? And of course, let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks again, and have a good one. This show and episodes like this one are possible thanks to viewers like you. If you're looking for an easy way to help support this show, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Also, hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any new episodes. You can also go check out our playmats and other merchandise at thecommandersquarters.com. We also have a ton of brand new t-shirt designs in stock, so make sure you check out those as well. Another easy way to support this show is with our TCG player affiliate links. So whether you're buying a deck or individual cards, you can use this general link right here or one in the description. And the final way that you can support this show is by supporting us directly by becoming a patron. There are many benefits to being a patron, and I truly couldn't do this without all of their support.